Yeah, of course I back it. But there's just some sort of, you guys have like some sort of thing going on that.
I think it's MSG.
Yeah. the best collab you have done. And then you were like, oh, it's with you, my love. It was a beautiful moment.
Sweet.
Beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, the podcast that brings a Friday drinks chat to you. This week's episode, we have Bullslut and we have Cop or Not. But before that, throughout the week, we got me, Miguel, we have Sen.
Yo.
We have Roey.
G'day, boys. Today, very special episode. Very special episode. We've got a guest in. We've got a man by the name of Justin Truong, founder of Pushas, a business that is doing 8 figures of revenue, and my old uni tutor.
More importantly, as he's best known for, Justin, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me. That's actually my claim to fame. Right?
Oh, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without those years of grinding at UNSW, mate, you know, who knows where you would have been.
Exactly.
First question we ask every guest is, what is your rarest moment?
What do you mean by a rarest moment?
Rarest moment, just, you know, things that you do that are a bit strange that people might be like, oh, I don't know about that. You know, people, it humanizes you potentially.
You make me sound like a robot. So my rarest habit is I love the taste of salt. Okay, so when I used to drink, you know, back in the day at Sanctuary, back when I was in your early 20s, you know, when you're doing like a tequila shot, I'd probably have like more salt than anything. Like you'd have like a whole slug of salt.
Yeah.
And people were just like, what is wrong with you? Like, there's just, because usually you have like, yeah, the salt, and then the lemon at the salt, the shot, and then the lemon at the end.
Yeah.
My salt was, that was the star of the show for me.
Everything else was secondary.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people are like, oh, do you want some, you know, tequila with that salt? Like, but
How's the blood pressure? You had a checkup recently? Or?
it's pretty bad. I love salty things. Like it's maybe I'm just salty, but yeah.
What's your favorite food?
This is a bit stereotypical, but I'm Vietnamese Australian. I love Viet food. Like, I just love it. I think we're top tier. Like, if you're doing a tier list, Vietnamese food is like on top, you know? Yeah, there's so much variety. You know, there's like rice paper rolls, there's, you know, pho, there's bún bò, there's all these.
You actually are speaking my language. Yeah. All those things are good. I swear to God, there's some sort of, every Vietnamese person I know, all that we've had on, has just constantly said Vietnamese is their favorite food.
Yeah.
You went to Vietnam, Ro?
I've been to Vietnam. Yeah, of course I back it. But there's just some sort of, you guys have like some sort of thing going on that.
I think it's MSG.
Yeah.
Where's the best banh mi place, you reckon?
So Marrickville's obviously like up there. There's a place in Cabramatta that does it. Have you guys been to Vinfat, the yum cha place in Cabramatta?
I have not.
Haven't
heard of, but yeah, haven't been.
That's top tier as well. But there's like a bread shop on the left of it. It looks like the most dodgiest bread shop. But I love that place. Like that place is like is what I like my childhood of what like a banh mi is like.
Yeah,
it's the best. Yeah, but those two are probably good. And then there's like Ride as well, but Top Ride
Bakery.
Oh, the bakery, yeah.
Yeah, that one where all the lines. I think the lines make it not worth it. Like I'm not waiting an hour for my pork roll. It's meant to be a quick. But like the bad ones are the ones that you stay away from, right? There's ones that you go to and you're just like, this is terrible. This is not good, right? But
stay clear.
I've never had a bad one. So as Ro mentioned earlier, you actually did tutor him at UNSW in marketing. How was he as a student?
He was a good student. I remember giving him a pretty decent mark. Like he got a distinction, I remember.
Do you actually remember him as a student?
Yeah, I remember him.
There's no way you remember him.
I remember you, right? Because yeah, like a lot of my classes, like you just pick out the people who are like kind of bit of trouble. And he was obviously one of them. No, I'm joking, but he was like really curious. Like I remember him asking a lot of questions.
Is it because there were participation marks that he could get, or
No. I was asking questions, to be honest. I didn't care about the subject whatsoever.
Yeah.
But Justin was like, oh, I founded this business called Pushas. And I was more interested in that because he just started at the time. And I was like, mate, can you tell me how to do this? Because I want to do it as well.
Yeah. How was your experience as a student of mine? Like that's what I want to know.
I mean,
student feedback.
Semester, yeah. You know how you rate your tutors?
It's like he's never prepared. Like.
So wait, what year was this? When are we talking? Was this
2018, 2019?
Yeah, something like that.
This is a while ago.
Yeah.
A while ago. I remember, and I'm not glazing for the sake of glazing here, yeah? But I like the subject because it's interesting. And Justin, he was he was a little bit like kind of awkward. Like you'd ask him like a question and then he'd have this like weird, like that chuckle. Yeah, like that exact chuckle.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I was like, this guy's a G. Also, he was just like the youngest tutor that I had probably at the time. And you could just kind of talk smack.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't. To be fair, I wasn't scared of him. Like,
Yeah, of course. Like, who would be scared of me? Like, yeah, man. I only taught like probably for like a year and a half, 2 years. It wasn't often, but yeah, I still have students coming up to me. And there was the weirdest moment. I was down in Melbourne, right? I was just visiting my friend down there, and my Johnny, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, wow.
yeah, he's a really close friend of mine, and we were there. You know, we grabbing dinner in the city. And then, because I'm so used to people coming up to him, like, "Oh, you're my Johnny. Can I get a photo?"
Yeah.
Blah blah. I had one girl come up to me, right? It was almost, he was just laughing at me. It was just like, what the fuck, right? And she was coming up to me and she's like, it wasn't even her that I taught. It was like, oh, my little sister, you taught my little sister at UNSW. And like, you know, she talks about how like great your class was. And I was like, what? Like, is that something you go home and you talk to your sibling about? Like, oh, there's this tutor that like just made me laugh in class or something. And then, yeah, can I get a photo so that I can show my sister? I was like, what?
a photo.
Yeah, I was honestly, I didn't know how to react to that situation.
I had no idea you guys knew each other because I think you just commented on one of our videos and then Ro, using our podcast account, replied back to you saying, "Oh wow, man, you used to tutor me in marketing at UNSW, blah blah." And the rest of us are like, "What are you doing?"
No, actually, behind the scenes, right? The whole reason we got our Manscaped deal is because I messaged him on LinkedIn like 5 years ago, being like, "How do I get sponsorships?" Because I knew he started, and I knew people were like asking him for sponsorships, and he was like, "Oh, you got to do a media kit," and that was the first time I ever heard the word media kit, and so that's why I was
Still
like,
teaching him. Like, I'm not even getting paid.
So Justin helped us get Manscaped.
Yeah.
Oh,
got the deal,
wow.
got the deal. So,
Fair
mate,
enough.
a lot of ties between Pushas and the Critical Banter podcast.
Yeah, so the reason why I saw it was actually one of my good friends, Brenda. She was on the podcast, and I was like, the connection. I was like, you guys are, yeah. She was on it, and I thought, wow, cool.
Question about uni marketing, right? Because a lot of maybe some of the listeners are in uni. When you mark stuff as a tutor, how legitimate is it?
It's actually pretty legitimate. Like,
That's not the answer I wanted to hear.
no, like honestly, like I actually think marking was the hardest part of teaching. Like, you know, when you're teaching, you're going in and it's stuff you really know. But when you're actually marking, man, I hated that part. I used to try to offload it to other tutors. I'll be like, hey, you can, because you get paid for marking as well. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's outside of your teaching time. I used to be like, hey, can you, like, I'm busy, obviously, like running the business. Oh, can you like take my classes marking if you can? No one wanted to take it because then people were trying to offload their marking because it was actually like really like you actually have to put a lot of work into it. And the worst part is when you get students like Ro coming up to you and complaining. That's a headache. Like so you actually have to really mark fairly. You know, there's obviously. There's a mark criteria. If you mark wrong, the head, the lecturer is going to come back to you and be like, "Hey, why'd you mark this?" And there's a lot of headaches. So you'd rather do it right the first time, right? So, so he did deserve his distinction.
I'll take it.
It wasn't nepotism or anything. Yeah,
I'll take it. But Justin, you started a podcast in 2019 called Bold.
Yep.
It's where you spotlight bold ideas and bold people.
Yeah.
I looked. There's only 2 episodes. They're both named episode 4. So what happened to 1 to 3 and why'd you stop?
Yeah, I was doing that for shits and gigs, to be honest. And number 4 is actually one of my favorite numbers, weirdly enough. So 4 and 9 are my 2 favorite numbers. Just a fun fact out there.
Yeah.
This is the thing about me. Sometimes I just do stuff just for a laugh because life and everything's already so serious. You sometimes just gotta do it for the lols.
Wait, so was there an episode 1 to 3?
There was no episode 1 to 3. Is that what you're hearing?
So you started with 4.
Oh, so every episode is called episode 4.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And once you get sick of that, episode 9 now. Maybe we should do that.
I was actually baffled. I was like, what did you say on episodes 1 to 3 that you had to take it down?
No, there was no 1 to 3.
No, fair enough.
I've got a question for you. So obviously you were in uni and you were tutoring marketing, and I believe you're doing a law degree as well. So
yes.
How did that conversation go? Telling your Asian parents saying that, hey, look, I don't want to pursue law anymore. I actually want to sell shoes online.
With your girlfriend.
Yeah. No, this is actually a fun story. So I was in my 4th year when I started Pushas, right? And that's usually your penultimate year. That's when you start getting internships or clerkships, and then that gets you a grad role, and you go to your full-time job into the real world. What I ended up doing, because I was already working at a law firm for like a year and a half, and I was like, man, this is not, like, you could see your path forward, right? You can see effectively where your life is going to go, and that wasn't where I wanted to be. I was like, man, this looks so boring. Like, I'm not built for this, right? And I wasn't. I was a pretty like mid. Yeah, I was a mid law student, a pretty mid like paralegal. Yeah, I was pretty mid, but
Say it one more time, I might believe you.
yeah. So what I ended up doing was I started doing my degree part time just to delay graduation, and then I started the business. So my parents still thought that they were like, oh, I'm just telling my parents, oh, I'm taking it a bit slower. But in the meantime, I was like, man, this has to like get this off the ground and pay for a grad salary, or if it doesn't, I've got to go get a real job. So I didn't really tell them until like it started to really pick up, and then they were like, okay, I guess so. Like even now, even my mum now, right? She's like, my dad's okay with it. He understands somewhat, but my mum's now, have you thought about like going back to law? Yeah, like, I think it'll be good, and for me, I'm just like, maybe. I always tell her, I'm like, maybe, like,
sure, yeah, but in your head, you're like, yeah, there is absolutely no way I'm going back to law.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't need to know that, but for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, maybe when I feel like it,
So she'll just forever have hope that one day you'll decide, you know what, I want to be a lawyer again.
Yeah, maybe when I'm in retirement and I'm just like,
got nothing to do, you just pick back the books up, and
I'll be a mid lawyer, so no one hire me, right?
But we've talked a lot about Pushas. Do you want to explain what Pushas is and how you started it?
Yeah, so Pushas is Australia's premier sneaker and streetwear marketplace. We're the biggest in Australia, and we're a marketplace. So on the consumer side, people see us as a place that I buy cool sneakers and cool streetwear and the like. But we also have the seller side where we're helping people actually sell their sneakers. So for those who don't know what a marketplace is, you're effectively connecting one side of the market to another, and then you get a spread in the middle. And for us, like, our job is actually to really build good tech on the back to help that move smoothly, and then build a brands that people actually buying from us. So that's kind of like the technical view of the business, but most people are just like, oh, that's just a cool place to buy sneakers.
Yeah.
How we started. So me and my wife, we were in uni, like I was saying, and she was working at Adidas at the time, and that was during the time of when Yeezys were really hot. I'm not sure if you guys would remember, and people were like lining up overnight. Some people were lining up for like 3 or 4 days, right? To buy a pair and then sell it for like 1,000 or something. Well, admittedly, my wife is more the sneakerhead. Like, she got me into it, but she was, by the time when I met her, she was like 18 and she already had like 100 pair of sneakers.
Where did she get the money for 100 pair of sneakers?
Okay, this is the thing.
She's stealing them or something?
No, this was the thing that I used to like give her so much crap about. She was like living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And it was just like every week, she's like, I got a new pair of sneakers. I got a new pair of sneakers, right? I was just like, you need to make your money back somehow to pay for this addiction. And then she started buying me pairs, and I was like, I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah.
And I love, but like, this is not sustainable. And so, I was like, okay, we need to like figure out a way to like make some money.
Yeah.
And then we became resellers, right? So, we'd buy like 1 or 2 pairs, one for her to wear and then one to sell off to make back for that. So it became sustainable.
When you were reselling, did you have to wake up at 4 a.m. and stand outside the line?
No. So what I was doing actually was I was kind of aggregating from those people that were lining up. So I would offer them a bit more, and then I make the rest of the margin. And that was kind of like the first iteration of Pushas. So when I said that we started in 2017, that was what it was, right? We just put up a Shopify. We weren't even a marketplace yet. We put up a Shopify, and we were helping. We were just kind of like selling our stuff, and then we started to know resellers in the community, and then we told them, hey, like, we could start selling your stuff as well, and then it started to kind of snowball from there. But that was really the genesis of Pushas, was just to really make sure I didn't go broke.
Yeah. You're paying for your wife's shoe addiction, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, when they say that, you build for yourself, I think that's pretty true advice. But that's how we started.
How is it starting a business with your partner, now your wife?
Yeah.
And a fairly successful business. Like, we have the podcast, like, we have fights all the time about creative vision, creative direction, all this sort of stuff.
I need to take a break from the boys after we have a fight.
Exactly.
Unfortunately for me, I can't take a break from my wife. So the way I think about this is, when you're building with anyone, right, you need to be able to be transparent. There has to be trust there, and you need to have really open communication. So for us, I think that was actually a strength that we were together, because you know, we were fighting about crazier things like, you know, like, oh, you know, like how come you didn't do the dishes today or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're so used to fighting that you never hold back.
Yeah.
And there's no friction in communication. And in doing so, what happens is you end up moving quicker as a company because, you know, like whenever there's a problem, we just bring each other up. You know, there's no egos involved. You're just like, okay, well, you know, you screwed up here or you screwed up here. And then I'm like, yep, okay, I did. And let's move forward and go. So it actually lets you move quicker and be more agile and more nimble as a company. So I think it's important. Like, I'm not saying you need to start a business with your partner, but
Actually, I'd actually advise against it potentially.
but there is, you know, there are strengths to it, and you can see, you know, other, you know, more successful businesses than us where it's you know, Canva, Culture Kings, where it's usually, you know, a husband and wife team or a partner team. Because I think the formula, when it works really well. Yeah. But I've also seen it crash, like with other things, because sometimes you bring your relationship into it too much, and then you can't kind of separate it, and then it becomes, you know, it becomes really tough.
That's awesome. I was having a look. Pushas does heaps of like collabs. So I saw you did a collab with, you know, Justin Bieber's Drew. More recently, like Josh Giddey.
Yep.
First of all, Josh Giddey, what is he like as a bloke?
Man, he's actually okay. So what I found was he's so mature. Like he's young, right? Like he's young and being able to interview him, I was like, this kid's more mature than me. Like I felt like, damn, like he's accomplished so much more and he's done so well. But yeah, he's great and he's really focused and switched on. But I think you have to be an NBA.
Yeah, to get to that level, you have to be clued on.
How do you make sure that the shoes, like obviously Pushas, right, premium brand, basically you're if you sell fake shoes, that ruins you.
Business. Yep.
So how do you make sure that the shoes that you sell are legit? And kind of how have you developed that over time?
Yeah, so my wife is actually the one that heads this. And like the amount of shoes that she's like seen and processed, I reckon she's probably like, yeah, the top in the world. Like she's gone through so much more volume than most people, right? Well, the process is, you know, you got to look at like the materials, you got to, even the smell. I don't know if you've heard of the smell test, but the smell test is actually a true thing.
But that was for underwear. So know if you can use it the next day.
Socks.
No, so basically like certain factories have certain smells and certain glues that they use, etc. And so like if you have a fake pair of Jordans, you can smell it straight away because they're using like the different like adhesives.
That's crazy.
Different materials. That's a big one.
It's like a sniffer dog. Like a
Yeah.
Your wife's just like,
Yeah.
so,
Go get him, boy.
Sick 'em, right? Yeah.
He's got boxes of shoes just going around sniffing.
so what do Jordans smell like? And then,
Right, yeah. Like when you know, right? Yeah, so like that's one, you know, the materials, the stitching, like, because obviously if you're a fake pair, they stitch it together wrong. And this is what happens a lot too. Like sometimes they're using the authentic material. So how this works for those who don't know is that they might have, for example, the factories that actually are producing the different parts for the shoe. And then Nike kind of gets it in a different factory and then kind of assembles it together, right? So what happens is a lot of these, you know, factories might backdoor these parts, and then so it's authentic parts, but they just can't put it together authentically,
right.
So it like that's an interesting part where some people are like, oh, but it looks real, but it's because it is like stuff that they just kind of stole from the factories, but they just can't put it together, you know, in a proprietary way that Nike or Adidas or one of the brands have done, and so you can tell how it's put together is different because they're using different methods or different glues or different stitching, etc. So there's a lot of that. Yeah, with apparel, there's like the labels and even the packaging. You can tell when it's like fake packaging. There's like nuances that are off. But you know, when you go through like, you know, thousands, you see it, and it becomes pretty obvious. But you know, if someone's wearing on their feet and they don't know and they haven't seen it, then it's a bit harder to catch.
Sell.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reps online, and this is getting harder and harder to tell. Like online, yeah.
Because I was going to ask that, like, are you finding that the fakes are getting better and better these days?
Yeah, the fakes are definitely getting better, right? They're getting better. But what we're finding as well is that because there's like different runs, right? Like for example, like the pandas, right? How many times did they drop the pandas? Each run was different. And so like sometimes the fakes get better, but then like they might introduce something new in the next run and it's like off again and it's like it becomes really tough. But look, I'm not advocating to buy fakes, but like I think most people, they probably like wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But you know, we can tell. And we've had resellers that send us, you know, sneakers that they've bought from other people and they're like, you know, trying to sell it, and then we're like, oh, that's actually a fake. And they're like they didn't know. Yeah, so it's a big problem, but that's why I think we exist, right? Because our brand of, you know, trust and premiumness is important. I think that's why people buy from us because the more fakes there are on the market, it just gets really tough, and it's such a lucrative market to create fakes, right? Fakes are actually expensive. That's the other thing. Like you might be buying like a pair of pandas, let's say for retail for like $180, but the fake's already like $90. There is margin if you're selling fakes, like that's like the extra 50% margin, but it's not like you're not buying like stuff at like Parkley markets for like $10 anymore, right? It's like those fakes are actually like really easy to tell.
Yeah, right. Because I thought the whole point of buying fakes was like you said, you're paying $5-10 at Parkley markets or whatever.
I was going to ask you though, like obviously you go overseas, you go to Bali, you go to Vietnam, there's all these fakes. Like which country do you think does the best fakes?
Probably Vietnam. Because a lot of Nike is actually produced in Vietnam.
Is this because you're Vietnamese? Is this another Vietnamese like plug?
Yeah, Vietnam number 1. I actually think it's because like a lot of the actual manufacturing's in Vietnam. So they do the best fakes.
So the ones in Vietnam, can you get like, because you said you can get the ones where they get the parts from the factory and they're just putting it together themselves rather than like putting. So can you get those ones in Vietnam?
If you know a guy, you can get anything.
If you know a guy,
do you know a guy?
Yeah, we'll get it off air.
No, I don't know a guy. So.
What's the most that you've what's the most someone's paid for a pair of shoes on Pushas?
It would have been the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones.
How much are we talking?
I think it was like 15K.
Okay, that was that was literally 15 times more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. 15K.
Was that retail or is that?
No. So it was on the secondary market. Retail, I think the shoe, I forgot how much it was retail. You could probably pull it up, but
it was so limited, right?
Yeah, it was so limited. That was a good sale.
No, we just went sneaker shopping in Japan, right? And there's a big second market
That's
there.
true, yeah.
The shoes are still like really expensive there, like retro, like Jordan 1s and all that.
I love Japan, by the way. I saw your podcast talking about Japan. Japan's like goated.
It's amazing.
Like second to Vietnam, but still goated.
Crazy, dude.
I love Japan. Yeah, the sneaker scene there is awesome. I think there's a lot of stores, and people actually like to wear hype sneakers in Japan, which is awesome.
Because we went to a shop and we saw those retro Jordan. I don't know what it was. It was some special Jordans, and they were selling for like 10K. And then you asked, will Michael Jordan himself come put them on for me?
For 10K.
Because I was in the store and these boys are like waiting outside, and I go in, there's a 10K pair of shoes there, and Rose's like, I gotta touch it. When do I get a chance to touch a pair of shoes like this?
No, because I'm not a massive sneakerhead. So for example, if you're buying a 15K shoe, right, are you actually wearing that anywhere, or are you looking to try and sell that on for a?
No, you wear it. You wear it. But I think if you're buying a 15K shoe, like you've got money.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's like, what's it to you, right? But to me, like and I'm pretty upfront about this. Like I wouldn't, not now anyway. I wouldn't wear a 15K shoe.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think my most expensive shoe is like $3,000.
Yeah.
But
which one's that one?
The Chicago's, the Jordan 1 Chicago's. But I didn't buy it for $3,000. I bought it for like a lot cheaper, but then it's appreciated over time. Yeah.
What were the trends? What are you seeing in terms of like the next hype shoe?
So right now, the thing with sneakers is that it comes in waves, right? So right now, I think the things that are starting to pop off are like the Asics, like gel NYCs.
I see Spaniard wearing them all the time.
Yeah, those are really popping off. TNs. Okay, so this is the thing about TNs that, look, you guys laugh, but I'm telling you, in a couple of years, it's going to be mainstream. Like people, it's not going to be just reserved for the lads.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's what Ro wanted to buy in Japan. He was on the look for a pair of TNs.
I was on the look for TNs.
Like, I actually think like in a couple of years, you're going to see like casual Fridays at work. People are just going to rock up to work in TNs. Like,
because they're like that in like Europe, right?
Yeah.
In Europe, they wear it casually. So
yeah.
In the US as well now, like people wearing it casually. Like there's no kind of stigma to it.
But what are the lads going to wear? Do you know what I mean? Without the TNs, what do they have?
Their identity, right? That's like, man, that's, we don't have it anymore. But I actually love TNs. Like my wife loves TNs. So she's been wearing TNs like since she was like young. Like she was not a lass, but she just wore it. But she has this like, I remember like when we were young, like I was probably like 19. I remember she like rocked up to get for a Macca's run or something, and she had this like bright red like lava TNs. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like she's always like on top of the trend. So yeah.
Alrighty, before we end this off, we do a little mini thing called What Your Ex Says About You. So we usually choose like different categories. So what your coffee order says about you, for example.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got you here, so we're going to do What Your Sneaker Says About You. So we've got a couple of sneakers that we've picked out, and we're going to get your thoughts on them.
Yeah.
So the first one is, if you wear Panda Dunks, what does this say about you as a person?
When like we got to establish time frame, right? Is it now? Is it like 3 years ago?
We'll go now.
Center's skin in the game, as we said.
I'm not. Yeah, let's go.
No,
What do you?
No, so I think if you're wearing pandas now, you're pretty cool because I feel like no, hear me out. Because I feel like before, if you're wearing it, it's because everyone was wearing it. Like you were kind of following the crowd. Now it's kind of like you're wearing it because you like it. Like no one's buying it now because it's cool, right? Like everyone's buying it now because it's like, okay, it's actually like what I like.
Yeah.
And so that means that you're a contrarian and you're thinking for yourself. You're an independent thinker.
Wow.
Thank you.
So I actually think if you're wearing pandas now, I'm like tick of approval, right? Whereas if you were wearing it like 2-3 years ago, I'm like, it's a bit, what are your intentions with this shoe? What are your intentions, right? Are you just trying to like, pass off as being cool? But yeah. So I actually think if you're wearing things that are like kind of like not as hyped anymore, that's awesome. I'm all for that, right?
Yeah, because the sneakerheads on like TikTok and stuff, they hate on the Panda Dunks. So if you're still wearing them, even all that's going on, fair play.
Yeah.
I'm going to clip that up and that's going to be my ringtone. It's going to be cool. All right, next one. If you're wearing TNs, what does that say about you?
If you're wearing TNs now, then you're ahead of the trend. Like, because I think it's going to blow up. And yeah, you're ahead of the trend. You don't care what people think. You're a bit of you're just awesome. Like you're just a great fucking person. Like, like I'm telling you now, like, you see someone like that on the street wearing TNs and you should ask to be their mate. Cause I'm like, it's
like Justin. It's like that meme where you give yourself a gold medal. Justin's patting himself on the shoulder.
Yeah,
Love
exactly. No, TNs are awesome.
No danger of getting rolled or.
Yeah, sure. So TNs right now, you're either trendy or you're a lad, essentially.
Yeah. But I think most of them that are wearing now are being trendy.
Love it.
Okay.
You should get a pair, bro.
I will get a pair.
Where can we get a pair?
I'll have a look. I wonder where I can get a pair.
Which one's the best TN? Like, what's the best?
It depends. I think right now I really like the 25th anniversary ones that came out probably like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
They've been at it for 25 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
TNs.
Yeah, exactly. But if you just get like a black pair or a white pair, yeah, I think you can't go wrong. My wife would say if you have a black pair though, then that you're kind of down for criminal activity. That's what she always says. She's like, when she sees someone wears like a black pair of TNs, she's like, she stays away.
One of my closest friends wears black TNs. I might have to have a word to him after the show.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next one. If you're wearing Yeezy slides now, what does that say about you?
You're a person that likes to be stylish, but also comfortable. Like Yeezy slides are comfortable. Like, have you seen all those fake Yeezy slides that are on the market?
Yeah. My brother, I like.
I was about to say. I go to his house and I see a couple. I'm like, hang about.
Like, I don't know what it is, but they can't make it like the fake ones. Like, I've tried them on. They can't make it as comfortable as the real ones. Like, weirdly enough. So, like, someone who wears Yeezy slides, they're in it for the comfort. You know? So.
All right, next one. If you're wearing Sambas, what does that say about you?
That you're a mid-level marketing manager. Right? Look, we sell a lot of Sambas, right? So I can't crap on them, but like every person that I see wear Sambas, they're like, yeah, mid-level marketing manager, probably based in the city or Surrey Hills or somewhere.
Say less.
And they're in it for the hype. Like they're hype beasts. Well, obviously, if you're a marketing manager, you got to be in it for the hype. Right?
You got to know the trends.
Yeah. But you're a mid-level marketing manager.
Are they objectively good shoes in your opinion?
I don't have a pair. I've never worn them, so I can't really say.
So no, definitely not.
No,
not Justin approved.
Like look, it's not my style. I personally wouldn't wear them, but.
Well, what your style actually? I saw you went to a formal black tie event in this jacket itself.
This is my favorite jacket so far.
Is it?
I just got it like a week ago, and I'm wearing it everywhere. This is a G'd Up jacket. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of G'd Up, but they're the biggest Australian streetwear brand to come out. Like, what's cool that's come out of Australia? Like, let's be honest, right? Honestly, like
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole
Seriously,
lot, right? So it's great what they're doing, and they're putting us on the map. Like, a lot of UK drill rappers are wearing G'd Up now. Like, kudos to them, man. Like, they've done great work. And so I went to a black tie event. It was the the Aureas, which is the online retail awards.
Not to be confused with the Arias.
Yeah.
They just took their
It's a
name.
funny name. Me and a couple of people were laughing about the name, but it's so Ozpost was like sponsoring it.
Ozpost.
Yeah,
Because that's who ship all the fucking.
Yeah, they're a stakeholder in this.
No, I understand that, but mate, get my deliveries on time, brother. Why are you sponsoring this event?
because if online retail shoots up, their margins shoot up, right?
Yeah.
So I went to a black tie event in this jacket, and I got a lot of compliments. They're like, oh,
Beautiful.
yeah, it was awesome. But
Did you win any awards?
no, I was nominated.
Oh,
I was nominated.
She went for the free food.
Yeah, no. So one of our partners, Afterpay, they invited me, so it was good to be there.
all right. Final one. And by the way, these are all in your best-selling shoes on the Pushas website. Yep. Final one is the Jordan 1s. So if you're wearing Jordan 1s in 2024, what does that say about you?
You're either a sneakerhead OG, so you've either been around since like a lot of our customers actually are the ones that were probably like kids or teenagers when Jordan was like in his prime. So now they're like just collecting Jordans like no tomorrow. Yeah, or you're a bit of a retro person, right? You're someone who's like, oh, I like the classics. Jordan 1s are a classic silhouette, man. Like it's probably the thing that kickstarted sneakers.
Yeah.
Hype sneakers anyway. Sneakers been around for a long time. But like kickstarted hype sneakers. You're a person of great taste if you're wearing Jordan 1s up. Like Jordan 1s are awesome.
All right. Well, Justin, mate, thanks for the interview. We'll jump into the game next.
Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty, our game with our guest, as per usual, is Bullslut. But before we get into that, I actually had an extra question that I wanted to ask.
Bonus content.
Bonus content. The name Pushas, where did that come from?
My wife actually came up with it, right? So we have like, she came up with like a couple of things where she's like, oh, okay, this is why this name makes sense. So first,
Should we have got your wife on? It sounds
she's
like
more interesting than I am by a long shot, right? She's way more funny too. So the first story that she came up to me with was she was like, I was watching Mean Girls, and Tina Fey, how she's the teacher in Mean Girls, and she's like, I'm a pusher, I push people. So that's kind of where she kind of got that. Like it's kind of like hustling and all that stuff. And then obviously like pushes in hip hop is kind of like you're pushing certain contraband. And back when we were selling, back when we first started sneakers, it was quite underground. Like people were selling sneakers were quite underground, right? Like it's not as mainstream as it is now. So she liked that name. But then it's also kind of like it works in 3 levels. So the last level is like kind of like hustling and ambition and all that stuff. So she's a genius behind this business. I'm just the face. I'm obviously the pretty face. But, she's also the pretty face. I've got nothing, man.
One of the quickest backtracks I've ever heard.
About to get himself in some trouble there.
No, I saw a clip of you when I think your wife asked like, "What's the best collab you ever done?" And then you were like, "Oh, it's with you, my love." It was a beautiful
that's
moment.
sweet.
Beautiful moment.
Yeah.
So confirming we were hypothesizing, so no relation to Pusha T and that.
No.
Okay, we've been calling you Pusha T behind the scenes.
Oh,
I was going to say, are we going to reveal that?
Yeah, we'll reveal it. Why not?
Call me Pusha J, bro.
Pusha J, all right.
No.
All right, so the game, getting back on track here. The game is called Bullslut. So we're going to play 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, for a round, I will give you might play Ro in the first round, for example, right? And I'll give you guys a category. And I'll say, for example, how many fruits can you name in 30 seconds?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, all right, I can name 10.
Yeah.
And then Ro will be like, oh, I can name 11. And then you'll be like, okay, I can name 12. And you'll keep going back and forth until one of you calls each other out. So you'll say Bullslut. So let's say you said 20 and Ro's like, he can't name 21. He can barely do 10, but he'll be like, Bullslut. And he'll call you out.
Yep.
So then you'll have 30 seconds to name 20 fruits.
Yeah.
And if you can do it, you get a point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then depending how many points you get, out of 5, you'll end up somewhere on the leaderboard. So
I'm
if we
terrible at games, so I hope
What are you aiming for? You see the
I
list
just want to
there.
be Brenda.
So a 2 is respectable for you.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can. That's the sad part.
all right, so we'll get started. And I apologize in advance. Some of these are thematic, and you'll see what the theme is very quickly.
Okay.
So first round, you're going to play against Ro.
Yep.
And your theme is Olympians. So how many Olympic athletes can you name in 30 seconds?
Are we talking
All time.
Olympic
All time, all
Past and
sports.
present.
Past
Oh,
and
man.
present, all sports, Olympic athletes.
5?
Let's go. Your favorite 9. You're a lucky number.
Bullslut.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Straight away. All right, Ro. How many Olympic athletes can you name in 30 seconds? Your time starts now.
Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Usain Bolt. We got Michael Phelps, Ian Thorpe, Grant Hackett, Kathy Freeman. One more. Minwoo Lee is currently at the Olympics.
Wait, why aren't we timing him?
that's fine.
I'm just making sure. Yeah.
So you got that like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
See, I would have done that. I thought you were just going to name basketball people.
Yeah, I was gonna. That was.
I would have allowed that if you just went LeBron, Kobe.
I think he couldn't go past starting 5.
You got me. That was actually.
All right, next one. You're going to play Miguel, and your topic is UNSW landmarks.
Landmark.
But landmarks.
What's a landmark?
I'm going to allow if you say buildings or anything that you can name at UNSW.
Okay, yeah. I could probably name like 9.
No.
I don't think I went to more than 9 places in my stint at this uni.
I'll give you lecture halls, anything.
Lecture halls.
Yeah, anything. Lecture halls, buildings.
Is it buildings?
Yeah.
11.
Even
Bullslut.
shops. You give me shops. wait. Even
He just said he can't name 3, and then he's like 11.
Of course.
No, but the range has expanded
I'll give-
tenfold.
But you can't go like CLB 1, CLB 2, CLB 3. That doesn't count. It's like CLB's 1.
One building.
Yeah, CLB is one building.
I
But
don't
I'll
know,
give-
And he can't say CLB anymore.
yeah, that's good. But I'll give you can name like shops as well. Literally
Shops, that's okay. Shops is different. That's not a landmark, right? 'Cause
This is why I went 11. Just
That's yeah.
because he said this
I
is
think
allowed.
You guys can name more than 11. Come on.
okay, I take that. Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can name like 13.
I couldn't do 11. Bullslut.
All right. Okay. All right.
So you have 30 seconds to name 11. Wait, did you say 11 or 13?
13.
13 UNSW landmarks in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
All right. CLB because I said that. Roundhouse, law building, subway, subway. And then there's the engineering building. There's an electrical engineering building. There's the business building. There's the
15 seconds.
Tyree. Fucking the quad.
Yep.
5
Oh,
seconds.
the sushi restaurant.
Yep.
The fried rice. No, that's one. The roast
Time's
place.
up. What was that?
It was 11.
11.
Fuck, that's close.
Thought you might have said quad,
I said
the oval,
Quad,
the
stairs.
quarry.
Food court.
Yeah, I thought that's why I said food. I thought you might say food. UNSW library.
No, this is so niche. Roundhouse, square house,
So niche.
oval house. What would they have like 10?
Isn't there a White House?
There is a White
There
House.
was a White House. When we went to the engineering and stuff, I thought we were good here, you know? But there's a million of those. Was it Matt Sci?
I honestly have no idea. I could not name more
Could you
than
fact
5.
check me if I just said like yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't
Honestly,
know.
you could have said anything and I would have allowed it.
Sir
to be
John
honest.
Clancy.
Yeah,
surely.
exactly. Oh, John Clancy.
The library, some might say.
All right.
Main library. There's
Yeah, law library.
yeah.
All right. Next one. Going up against Ro, your
Are you getting more
category
nervous,
is-
mate? The 1 out of 5 is.
This is hard. This is a hard game. I told you I'm terrible at it.
All right. Your next topic is cities in Australia. So cities and towns. I'll accept either.
What about suburbs?
Surely not suburb.
No, we can't go suburbs. It's got to be city
But
or
there's
town.
only like 7-8 cities, right? So it's kind of like you can. There's a limit to that.
All right. I'll allow suburbs then. I want high numbers in this. So
20.
choose your topic.
The Australian suburbs.
20, he said.
20's insane.
But there's suburbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, suburbs.
Suburbs. Come on.
Nah, I want to see this guy do 20. Bullslut.
All right.
All right. You have 30 seconds to name 20 suburbs. Your time starts now.
All right. Sydney, Alexandria, Fairfield, Cabramatta, Canley Heights, Canley Vale, Blacktown, Penrith, Bankstown, Mortlake, Burwood, Strathfield, Rhodes, Parramatta, I'm getting there. Chatswood, Mosman,
10 seconds.
3 more.
the pressure's on. Ashfield, Enfield,
1 more.
Your time's up.
Maroubra. Come die.
How many did he get?
19, dude. 19.
Fuck. This is hard. I overcommitted and
You
under-delivered, you know?
overcommitted massively.
The pressure when you were like, a couple of seconds, I'm like, fuck, that's a good tactic. Yeah.
You'll realize that like when he says like 8 seconds to go or whatever,
Yeah.
there's actually 8 seconds is a long time.
It is.
Yeah, but you hear that, you're like, oh, I gotta go.
That's like, just under a third, yeah.
I liked your tactics to begin with. Cabramatta, Fairfield, Canley Vale.
Yeah, that's what I was
You're just
doing.
going down
And
the
then we-
southwest.
Yeah.
Livo out that way. Whoa. Oh no, you look good. You started very strong.
20 is so many. That, honestly, I was a bit nervous there.
The suburbs, right? Like it's.
Yeah, but the pressure gets to you, man. When you start naming, you're just like something. Where am I going?
And when
Where
your
am I in
mind jumps
Sydney?
to some other place, Sydney, that's when it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to go like clockwise.
Yeah, pocket to pocket.
Yeah,
kind of
pocket to
thing.
pocket. But then, I just got.
Ran out of pockets, mate.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All right.
Alrighty. Next one, back to Miguel. Yours is shoe models. So not brands, but actual models, specific models of shoes.
You're mad.
How many can you do, Miguel?
4.
All right, I'll say 6. I'll keep it easy. I don't want to commit this time.
You don't go 20 again?
There's some that I'm thinking of. Is it 8? I'll go 8.
All right, I'll go 10,
12.
13.
Bullslut. Why not?
All right.
All right.
13.
Oh man, this is the pressure again. All right.
13 shoe models in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Okay, Nike Dunk, Nike Air Force 1, Jordan 1, Jordan 2, Jordan 3, Jordan 4, Jordan 5, Jordan 6, Jordan 7, Jordan 8, Jordan 9, Jordan 10, Jordan 11, Jordan 12.
He's done.
Jordan 13. Yeah, all the way to 32.
Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking that.
I was thinking that.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
No, it counts.
And I also
They're
didn't know
different
how many
models.
there were. That was the problem.
yeah, I don't know how many Jordans there were, but apparently there's 32 you could have gone up to.
Are you just making this? Is there actually 32
You
Jordans?
just fact check me. I don't know.
Well,
No, because Jordan 1 started when Jordan was playing,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
the 90s.
Mm.
And they're selling one every fucking year, mate.
There
on
you
the
go,
board. All right.
Justin, 1 point.
Tied with Brenda to beat
I should have just
Brenda.
done that. What?
All right. Your last category is Olympic sports. And Ro, you're up.
Olympic sports. Let's go 6.
Let's go 8,
Added a couple new ones this year, no?
12.
14.
Bullslut.
Okay.
Do I get a point if he's wrong, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. And I'm not counting, if you're saying 100 meter, 200 meter, 300, that's not a, that's an
No,
event.
if you go on
That's an event.
Olympics.com
Yep.
and look up sports, it's only one.
Okay.
It's only one. All right.
Running and
So
And
14.
don't give him more. Don't give him more.
Olympic 14 Olympic sports in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Tennis, soccer,
Are
basketball,
you sure?
3v3.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Is basketball not a sport?
It is. It is.
That's
Stop
up to you.
looking at
That's up to
I'm
you.
stalling him.
Running, swimming, high
You said-
jump,
you
long
said
jump,
swimming.
triple jump, discus, shot put, javelin, hammer throw. Is that not it?
14, mate.
The last one is hurdles.
Done.
Damn.
27
I
seconds.
couldn't beat Brenda. That's terrible.
Mate, how about the smack talking in between the time?
Mate, he did kill 5 of your seconds.
And
with
he
that
got
one.
you. He rattled you
I
as
was
well.
so rattled. I was like, is basketball not a sport in the Olympics?
No, I think you know what I figured out, like just by playing this. There's a lot of strategy to this game, right?
Yeah.
But like, you could stall them, right? And you kind of think about it. You're like, okay, so if they take like 2 seconds for each answer, that means you can only get about 15.
Correct.
So I'm starting to like understand this because I've never played this before.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand. Okay, there's like ways to kind of play. So if someone says like above 15, your chances are pretty. You know, just some tips out there. Even though I only got one, I'm starting to figure out like what the strategy is. Yeah.
We'll do 5 more rounds next time, mate. Well, you've learned the strategy. You got it. Alrighty, as always, this episode is sponsored by our good friends at Manscaped. Fellas, do you want your grooming routine to be one and done? Well, the days of using your own personal trimmer for your face and your private parts are over, right? No longer do you have to use the same trimmer. You can use 2 different accoutrements. We're going to introduce the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger, a trimmer for the moneymaker and another for the boys downstairs. Get 20% off and free shipping with manscaped.com with the code TCB. Use that at checkout. Sen,
Yes.
let me hop off Instagram for a second and show some love to our good friends of Manscaped.
Well, I was told I didn't need to be in this read, so I switched off.
But if you had to get a shaver, Sen, what would you use?
Oh,
Just out of interest.
well, I don't need to, even make this up. The only shavers I use are Manscaped ones for the beard and for my dick. The dick shaver, the face shaver. What more do you need? I haven't had the razor as well, actually.
Yeah, so you got 3.
Any kind of hair removal on my body right now is done by Manscaped.
I only trust them. I only trust those guys. So look, 20% off and free shipping with the code TCB. Manscaped.com. Support us. You get a little bit of, you get goods and services if you support us. So really, it's a no-brainer. 20% off. We'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing Cop or Not. So obviously we do this series, we do one at a time, but we've got Justin in, obviously founder of Pushas, he knows the shoes. So we're going to get the expert opinion on whether these shoes are in fact a cop or we just get rid of them, sack them off.
Just to clarify, some of these are customs and then some of these are actual collabs, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. The first shoe that we have is the Atlassian Nike custom / collab. So if we have a look at the shoe, all right, obviously we've got the classic Atlassian blue.
Yep.
Some rainbow stripes around the side of the shoe. And then I think the actual person, the employee's initials on the heel of the shoe. What do we reckon? Cop or not?
I like when a company gives their stuff sneakers, right? I actually think that's a thoughtful thing to do. Look, I feel like it could have incorporated, like for me, right? A good sneaker collab needs to have a good narrative behind it. Like, what is a narrative? Like, you can't just slap your logo onto it and be like, okay, that's a collab, right? Like, what's the story? What's the design? Like, what is the story behind the design? I think if it's just for an employee, like to give out to an employee and have their initials there, I think it's okay. But if it's like a proper collab where it's like there needs to be hype behind it and aftermarket value, there needs to be a story, and I can't pick out the story on this,
story,
right? Like, sorry to Mike Cannon Brooks, but like, yeah, like if you need help, I'm happy to come in and consult, right?
Beautiful.
But
Thoughts?
Well, firstly, Michael Cannon Brooks is actually an avid listener of the podcast, so I'm sure he's devastated to find it. But yeah, it looks boring. It's a really boring shoe.
The sparkles at the back aren't doing it for you.
And if you told me that was Atlas, if you didn't tell me that was Atlas, I would have no idea that
there's
was.
no like narrative behind it, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, well, like, how would you improve it? That's what I want to hear from you guys. How would you improve this?
Oh, well, everyone knows I'm pretty creatively stifled, so I can't really give you any tips there. But I do like the initials on shoes.
Yeah, I think
something
that's
about that I really like.
That's
that.
cool. Yeah.
But I don't know, how would you improve it? Or Migs, maybe your thoughts. How would you improve
Do you
it?
think you would slapping on a logo too much, too little?
I like the fact that there's no logo on it.
Really?
To be honest, I think if Atlassian gifted me this shoe, I'd be pretty happy.
Okay.
Like, I would be happy because the fact is they're not trying to shill their own brand. Like, we've done Cop or Nots with like EY, KPMG, Deloitte,
Yeah.
and all they do is just slap their logo on it and make it their colors and just call it a day.
Yeah.
And that to me shows very little creativity. At least here, it's a wearable shoe. You know what I mean? Like, I can wear it out. I'm not going to be ashamed to wear it. It's multiple purposes. So honestly, for me, this is a cop. Like,
Really?
yeah, to me, I don't mind the shoe.
Nah, the blue and white does nothing. Maybe to improve, I don't know, like maybe a little.
Like for a corporate shoe, it's not on our list, but like a brand that's done it really well is the eBay sneaker. I don't know if you guys have seen it, the
No.
eBay Sandy Boudica sneaker. That's actually done really well, right? And it has the eBay colors. It's a kind of design and like in a way where it's like, okay, it's something that people wear, and I've seen people wear it like on the street. So I think, yeah, you need like a bit more of like a story behind it or a bit more of like design choices that make sense, right? Whereas this, yeah, like I agree, it's a drop for me.
Look, to be honest, to improve it, maybe you just chuck a couple of Jira tickets
That's
on
what
it.
I said. Put a Jira ticket number on there or something.
Put a Trello board, you know?
Honestly, okay, I know you were just like talking crap, but yeah, if you put like a Jira ticket or something that like kind of like that's subtle, that's not like Atlassian,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it points towards like the story. It's like, okay, well, you know, each shoe is work done by the Atlassian team. Like, that's another ticket you've crossed off. Like, you know, from icebox to completed.
Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, see, you should design the sneaker. Mike Cannon Brooks, if you're watching this, Ro needs to come in and be like, he's a product manager by
Yeah.
trade, so he should come in and be like, I'm going to product manage this sneaker for you.
The workflow sneakers.
The workflow sneakers.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's hype. I would cop that. I would cop that.
That was the most passionate Justin's been all episode. Migs, cop or not?
I'm taking if I'm given, but I'm not going out of my way to cop it.
We really
so-
need to stop with that. I think it's a given that if someone gave it to me for free, I'm taking it.
No,
of
but there are
course.
some shoes, if you give them free, they would collect dust.
But you
But
know
I would
what?
wear these if I had them for free.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be like. I think cop or drop shouldn't be. Look, you know, would you accept if you're gifted? 'Cause I'll take everything.
Yeah.
But would you pay money for it?
Yeah.
No.
Number one, so that's cop. Would you pay aftermarket money for it? Like that. Those are the two kind of levels of
Of
copying.
cop. Okay. Yeah.
Surely if the first one's a no, the second one's an even bigger no.
Yeah.
All right. Next collab is the Nike Logitech collab. Famous juggernauts in the industry. What's this shoe? Is this the Jordan?
No, it's a Dunk High.
All right. So
Yeah.
Dunk High.
Yeah.
And Logitech have slapped their logo on the heel. They've got Pro Series on the side of the shoe, and on the actual back, if you can see closely, on the lower part of the heel, they've got a keyboard.
They got WASD.
The shoe is like grey. It's grey and black. I don't know what zero opposition means. Sounds sort of like motivational
Sounds like a
quote.
threat, yeah.
And on the top, you've got like the black kind of mesh on the top of on the shoe. So
I'm gonna start this one. I hate this one. This is shit. I'm sorry. The random keyboard at the back, zero opposite Pro Series, bro. Just stick to making the MX Master 3s.
I have an MX Master 3.
I also have an MX Master 3.
Great mouse.
My wrist is like
ergonomic. Yeah,
Yeah.
stick to mouse. Don't make shoes. I don't know. This is my opinion. I think it's shit.
What do they have, in my opinion, at the front?
Yeah, there's an IMO as well on like the front of the shoe.
What's that about? In my opinion, you're a bit shit.
I don't know.
Justin, thoughts?
The colors are also uninspiring.
I think there's a niche for this. Like, I think there are people who would have bought it. And yeah, I think I can see where they're going. Like with this sneaker, there's a bit more of a story. Like, even though I don't agree with the story, like, but the WASD does kind of make sense.
I like that's the one part of the shoe I do like, the WASD on the back. I think it's like quite cool.
Exactly. The Pro Series, yeah, okay, that's maybe like one of their model lines. Like, look, I can see like, you know, a esports gamer kind of like buying this, and okay, they might be a Logitech fan. So I'm not gonna knock it, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. if you're into Logitech, like if you're a Logitech Ultra and Logitech, all 15 of them out there, and they bring out this shoe, I think maybe they're copying.
Yeah, I think
maybe they're copying.
I think there's just too much writing on it. Like, I don't want my shoes to have writing, dude.
But then again, like Off-White is like the, you know, like the quotation marks and like Off-White.
But that's like their thing, right? That's their brand. That's their like
Whereas
Logitech. What are you guys doing?
You're right. It has to make sense, right? It has to
Yeah.
make like sense when you're doing a collab. Yeah, no.
You feel like they've gone on like a shoe creator website, got a whole bunch of stickers and just pop them on.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Red Bull collabs with
Nike. These are the dunks.
I would say that it's an interesting concept. It has all the, like their other sponsors like Tag Heuer, you know, Mobile, Honda.
Rocked, also an Australian company, by the way, Australian startup. But the shoe is like, the shoe's got the Red Bull color. So the Nike tick has the bull on it, and then around the shoe is kind of like a blue, different shades of blue.
Yeah.
And as Justin mentioned, heaps of sponsors, Oracle, Aston, all this sort of stuff is on the shoe.
I'd say it's a cop for me. I'm a sucker for the Off-White sole. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool sneaker. Like it's a good custom. Like it's done well. It's well thought out. It looks like a race car, you know, Formula One car. So
Yeah, I think it's nice because the way they've done the brand is different because it's similar to how they do the cars and like the shirts and everything. So it's succinct as a brand. It makes sense.
It's thoughtful. Yeah.
I would say probably not a cop for me because there's too much happening. Like, I have a Mercedes F1 shirt, and our friend Glade described me as a walking billboard because there's so many different company logos and sponsors on there. It's just a loud shoe. I don't know, not for me.
It is a loud shoe, but I think, so now we're copping, because I'm also copping the shoe, because I think it's like stay true to the brand. We're copping. Are we copping aftermarket though? That's the real question.
I think these will have aftermarket value, but it won't be that much. Like, let's say the retail price was like $250. I think it'll probably sell for like $350. It's not going to like skyrocket, but it's still look. It's respectable.
All right. So the Jordan Ferraris, basically, it looks like Ferrari is it looks like they put suede or some sort of leather all around the shoe
or something.
Look, if it's Alcantara, then that's a great.
Is that a place in Spain or?
No, that's what they put in like race cars, right? Like instead of like leather, they have like Alcantara, right? Like, so if it's Alcantara, then that's like that makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
That would be cool.
They've got the Jordan logo in Ferrari's yellow.
Oh, and they've got like carbon fiber on the bottom.
Yeah, carbon fiber on the bottom.
Like again, like the race cars.
Yeah, like
that is cool.
Yeah, like when you look at it and you're like, okay, this is very thoughtful. Like they didn't just slap everything on. That's a cop.
I think if you're into cars and you like Jordans, this would be a pretty cool shoe to have.
Yeah, I think objectively it's a good looking shoe, to be honest. I think it's real nice.
How much do you reckon these would go for?
Aftermarket, I think people would pay an absolute premium for these
I reckon
shoes.
at least like 600, 800 for these.
100%.
They're cool.
Yeah.
On the back as well, we got the Jordan with 23 on the back.
And you got it's the Ferrari logo, but you have, instead of the horse, the stallion, you got Michael Jordan
doing
in
a
his
dunk.
iconic stance. Yeah, that's cool.
That's beautiful. All right, so I think I don't know if they're actually legit collabs or they're all kind of custom. But now we're moving on to the Ben and Jerry
Yeah,
Nikes.
these are a legit.
These are the legit collabs.
These are fire.
Saw these in Japan.
We saw these in Japan, Ro. Don't you remember?
I do remember.
and I shocked you with how much they are.
So how much were they? Do you remember how much they cost?
A couple grand.
Yeah, a couple of grand. So Ben and Jerry's Nike Dunks, they're called the Chunky Dunkies.
Yeah. These are fire. These are. We've sold a couple of them. Like,
Yeah.
These are fire. It comes in like an ice cream
Yeah, it comes in the tub.
tub as well. Like
that's
it's so
cool.
thoughtful.
That's cool.
These are probably one of the best collabs in recent memory.
So it basically, how do you describe the shoe? It's kind of like all the panels have like some sort of imagery on it. So it looks like some sort of a rolling hills type
It's the
farm.
so if you look at a Ben and Jerry's box, that's what it kind of takes.
It's like the tub. Like
Yeah.
the cow print.
And I'm pretty sure the cow print is actual fur. Like it's not like
I
leather.
think it's faux. It's probably like faux fur.
Yeah,
like it's not
yeah,
real,
yeah.
I thought we were talking about
I thought we
Vietnamese
were
food
talking about
again.
noodle soup for a second. Holy shit.
but somehow plug it in. This reminds me of football.
I can't get food out of his mind. To be fair, it is lunchtime.
I'm dying.
Yeah, look,
Deceased.
it's a beautiful shoe. What I really like is the Nike tick, and you have it looks like ice cream melting.
It's like
this
bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great collab. Like probably the best collab here.
I would cop.
Yeah.
Aftermarket. I saw the prices. Probably not.
But if you could,
If I could.
If I could, I'm copping 100%.
Yeah. How much were these retail when they first came
I
out?
don't remember, but there were a couple of hundred. But I don't
And then
remember
aftermarket
specifically.
was a couple thousand. That's insane.
This is a great sneaker. Like this is
All right, next up we have the Adidas Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary Collection. So for all you Star Wars fans out there, you got the NMDs collabing with Star Wars, and on the kind of tongue of the shoe, who is that? Who is that character?
That's
It looks like Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. Who is that?
that's Lando.
It's
right?
Lando Calrissian. Yeah.
Lando. All right.
But we can go with Bryan
Bryan
Cranston. If you,
Cranston.
Yeah.
Before he shaved his head off.
Heisenberg.
pre the cancer.
I think the shoe is basically in the colorway of a stormtrooper. So you got black and white everywhere. On the I don't even know how to describe this. Like on the end of the tongue, you've got star.
Like, is it meant to be like a stormtrooper or?
Yeah,
is
it's meant to be
I'm trying to figure this out.
I think it's supposed to be a stormtrooper with some sort of writing on the side, but
Is it a spaceship or?
yeah, some sort of craft, something like that. But what are we saying for this one?
Yeah, I like NMDs. I would definitely cop these ones. And then I like black and white as well. It's very simple colors. It's not too in your face.
I think. Do we see the story behind this one? What is the storyline?
Not really.
Yeah, like I can't tell
Star
if
on the right, wars on the left.
Like, yeah, I can't tell if it's a spaceship, a stormtrooper. Like, what is it trying
It
to be?
is. The right shoe has star and the left one has wars on it.
Oh wait! Did you notice on the side? I think it's like the credits in the beginning.
The in a galaxy.
Yeah, far
away.
Okay.
That adds to the shoe.
If I'm marking a uni assignment right now, I'm like, oh, okay, that detail. Let's give it a couple of more marks.
But it looks like at the back, you know how NMDs have like the Japanese writing? I'm pretty sure these ones still have. If you look at the left shoe at the back on the heel, I'm pretty sure it still has that little
Are you copping or not?
Jedi in
Copping or
Japanese.
dropping?
I like NMDs as well. I actually think like NMDs fell off like 7 years ago, but
And I was
like,
still wearing them until last week. So
I love the silhouette. I think it's a really cool silhouette. But no, like this doesn't do it for me at all. Like this is a drop. Yeah, I can't tell what it's trying to be. Like, yeah, there are redeeming qualities,
Yeah.
but no, I'm not a fan.
Migs?
It's also a no from me. It's not inspired me as much.
Well, maybe this will inspire you. It's the PlayStation X Zara collab. So for some reason, PlayStation have not gone with a Nike or an Adidas or something like
an
that.
actual shoe manufacturer.
They've gone with a clothing manufacturer, Zara. And so I don't know how I would describe this shoe. It's just like kind of a
Shit.
high top shoe. The color is gray, like a PS1
It's like a
essentially.
slip-on shoe.
All right, can
Yeah.
we go more meta?
Please.
What makes a good collab between two brands? Like why does like a Supreme like Zippo lighter work, and why does PlayStation and Zara not work? Like what? Like when let's say if you're collaborating with two brands, like
Yeah.
I'm curious what you guys think, because I'm still trying to figure it out. Like why is it that like Ben and Jerry's and Nike work really well, and then what other characteristics of the two Yeah, this is probably giving you PTSD of
Yeah,
the lecture.
I'm like, bro, stop shouting at me. It's been 5 years.
Wait, bro, think of the 4 Ps, man.
Porter's 5 forces.
I think
So niche. I think if a good collab is when you can bring two, like the unique characteristics of two brands and, mesh together in a seamless, tasteful way.
Yep.
Because this is the exact opposite of that. Firstly, PlayStation have no right and no business making shoes. But for example, Ben and Jerry's, you're right, they probably have no right as well, but they've somehow meshed their brand and their uniqueness into a Nike shoe in a very, really nice way.
Yeah.
With another brand that has similar branding messages type vibe, Zara and PlayStation, I feel.
Just polar opposites.
Whereas the Supreme one, I think is so outrageous that it comes full circle and kind of works.
It's not outrageous enough. It needs
Correct.
to go further.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. So that's what I'm
Because
saying.
they're not trying to be outrageous, whereas Supreme lighter, bro. That
is true. Here they're actually they're trying to make a shoe here. They're not trying to be outrageous.
I think there's 2 ways clubs can work. The first is like, for example, Michael Cera with Cera V, right?
Yep.
It's like, it just fits. Like
Yeah.
they're similar. They have similar values. They just pump them together.
They just have the
Or-
same name, right?
No. But that's what I mean. Or like, for example, like a Tiffany and Louis collab.
Yeah.
Right. They're 2 juggernauts in their industry making, I don't know.
Both owned by LVMH. So.
Yeah. They're just shaking hands with each other.
Moving money from one pocket to the other.
Or like you said, they're so outrageous that it's
There's intrigue,
It's interesting.
How many marks does that answer get?
Yeah, how many? Yeah.
It's
Not
a
many.
distinction. It's a
Ah,
decision.
Back to the
Yeah.
PlayStation Zara. What do we think?
I mean, yeah. So the shoe is great. So okay, on the tongue they've got PlayStation, the words, then they've got PlayStation, the logo, and then
They got the retro logo, to be fair.
It's not, yeah, that's neither here nor there. But then across the shoe, there's like some weird elastic type thing where they've gone the Logitech route and have triangle, square, circle, X.
Also known as the most iconic thing of a PlayStation, the buttons.
The buttons.
And
I
it's
feel
across the where you would have normally you'd have your shoelaces.
You know what devalues this for me? I've seen similar PlayStation somethings in like a big W. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
now why am I seeing it in Zara?
We got it up there
Okay, we got it up there.
at the top of our shelf.
Okay. Yeah.
So we got the buttons there. It's belonging to Zara? I don't know about that.
I think PlayStation really brought the A game with this because you could tell it's like the PlayStation 1, like here, even the OG PlayStation logo, like the buttons. I think PlayStation really brought the value here.
Correct.
But Zara, I'm like, what of this screams Zara?
Correct.
Like if you didn't tell me it was a Zara collab, it's just a PlayStation shoe, I might have been like, that's awesome.
yeah.
But because it's like Zara, what are you
Yeah.
bringing to this? Like this is a potluck, and you brought nothing, right?
They brought the plates, mate. Come on, bring something
Not
value.
even the plates. They just came and were like, hey,
They came at 8.
exactly. So I'm gonna drop it because of that. Because Zara just didn't.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sums it up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Okay, all right. We're
Absolutely
It's a
not.
strong not cop for that one.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 Google collabs next up. So Google's collabs, I mean, I guess they're just customs, but we're going to say they're a Nike and an Adidas, and they're kind of the same sort of style.
Design.
Yep.
It's basically like someone's drawn on your shoe with a highlighter in red, in like the Google colors. So red, blue, yellow, that sort of thing. What do we think about this custom?
Are they
I
on
don't know.
Google colors?
Yeah, they're the Google colors. Like when
But if I see
you
red,
look at Google Maps and all the Google
I
icons,
see those colors. I'm thinking Olympics, to be honest. Like the rings, the Olympic rings. But
I feel like the idea is that if they executed better in putting the colors together, then you would recognize it as Google better. I feel
that's true.
But they are the Google colors. That's the issue. They haven't done it well, so you don't know.
Yeah.
But I like
agree with
it's
that.
playful. Like it's not supposed to be taken seriously. Like the shoe itself, even though they've colored it in, it's not
Yeah.
fully colored in. It looks like
It's a good
crayon,
design, but it's a
marker.
Google. That's
Exactly, that's the
and
thing.
that's the Zara thing that we had, right? Like it's a good design, but is it Zara? So
Is it
this is
Google?
like
yeah.
Looks like something I did in year 10. No, when I was 10, not year 10, not high school.
Yeah.
It's drawing on a shoe.
Like it's nice, but it's not like as a collab. Like we said, we need a story. Like we need it to be hype.
Yeah, because it's similar to what like KPMG, Deloitte, they all did. They just slapped their colors on a shoe and just called it a collab.
Yeah.
There's not real thought or love that went into it. So for me,
Do you expect more from those corporates though?
Not from KPMG,
Not from
but from Google. I think I
yeah,
actually
okay.
do expect more.
yeah,
Yeah.
Google claimed to be this, creative, blah, 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 kind of
Like-
innovative company.
Yeah.
And this is the best they can do.
Like when I see the KPMG like collab, I'm like it's still on brand. So for me, it's a pass. like, do you know what I mean? It's on brand. It's like, okay, well, it's a bunch of accountants or consultants being like, this is my favorite sneaker.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's on brand. At least they're true to themselves. Which I, that authenticity is on brand for us. So I'll give them a pass for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the Google one's not a cop.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah, drop.
All right, what about Nike Pet Barn? So this is another custom. Basically, it's what is this? A Air Force One.
Yeah.
And kind of in the panels between the swish, they've got a couple of Labradors chucked in. Looks like a weird print, actually. I'm not seeing Pet Barn anywhere here.
Yeah, me neither.
Immediate drop.
Yeah, immediate.
Immediate drop.
But it's also too obvious, right? Like a collab, it needs to be like a bit like smart. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's cool.
True.
Whereas this is just like, oh, let's just slap dog. Like some marketing dude was just like, let's just slap a dog onto it.
If I said I kind of like this,
I was going to say, I kind of like it. It's a cool design.
Nah, dude.
But it's not Pet Barn. Like
It's not Pet
Yeah,
Barn.
it's not
Yeah,
Pet-
it's not
like
Pet Barn, but
this is like, okay, if you just kind of got a sneaker custom.
yeah.
Yeah, I like dogs. I got a sneaker. Like, yeah, they'll pass. But as a collab, it's like, come on.
I don't know. I think I like it. It's a cool little design. Yeah, you're right. It's not Pet Barn in any way, but the dogs
Just
look
objectively,
cute.
you're saying the shoe
It
looks
looks
good.
clean.
if I saw it in a Nike store, I'm picking
Have
up
a
and
look
having a look.
Okay, all right, fair play. We move on to the Honda collab with, I don't even know what shoe this is.
I can't tell.
They'd be Pumas or like something like that ilk, like
Yeah.
a Tiger on Atsuka or something like that.
Let's call
Be
it.
Zara for all we know.
Yeah, we have no
Seriously.
idea. But basically, the shoe is, it looks like it's suede
Again,
or some sort of
suede,
material.
Yeah.
All red with a white Honda logo on the side. And on the back, you've got Honda in red, written. So that's the shoe. And I mean, the fit itself looks terrible, by the way, just quietly.
With the pants.
The pants, yeah. It's not looking great.
Baggy around the ankles.
Yeah, no good. But what are we saying with Honda?
I think this is cool. I really like it. Am I the only one? I'm getting blank stares
How
right
do you feel
now.
about red shoes?
But the red is the Honda is like that's their
Yeah,
color,
yeah.
right? Red and
like,
white.
I don't have a problem with the red with this. I just don't like the design. But like, and I love Honda. Like Honda is a great.
You think it's a bit boring, the design?
Yeah, it's like what do you, like it's this is the KPMG problem, right?
Yeah,
It's just slapping Honda onto
They did-
it. Like,
that
it's
is
like,
true. That is true.
Yeah,
I know. I think I just like all the car collaborations
Like, I
we've
love
seen
Honda.
so far.
Like, yeah,
Would you? So no cop at all.
no.
Manu?
Yeah, no, it's uninspiring. Just
Fair
a
enough.
red shoe with a H on it.
I think suede shoes just in red is not a vibe for me.
Mm.
But we move on to McDonald's. McDonald's, anyone know what shoe this is?
No idea.
They look like kind of like Adidas's. They look.
Do you know what they look like back in the day? The Nike Roche, was it Roche Runs?
Roche Runs. Yeah, okay. We'll call them a McDonald's Roche Runs collab. And I actually quite like this. It's a white shoe with a blue kind of front end.
Wait, why does that say Mac Auto on the sign?
Yeah, maybe they.
What is that?
The new McDonald's new business.
I
Cars?
assume that just means drive through.
Is it?
Yeah, it must be.
It must be. What else could it be? Well, they start doing servicing, car services, or car wash.
Loose change menu, mate.
But the shoe is white. The front end is kind of blue. There's the McDonald's logo on the side of the shoe. The laces are yellow.
Like fries on the back.
And the fries on the
I
back.
like the heel. The heel is
cool.
lovely. It's creative.
Can I ask why it's blue? Is McDonald's known for their blue color?
I'm thinking McFlurry or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the only thing
I think the
can of.
McFlurry cup
The cup is
has a blue on it.
white and blue on
But
it.
it's a bit of a stretch, right? It's like you have to think about
Yeah.
McFlurry. It's like
And to be honest, if it didn't have the big fuck off yellow M on the side, would I know this is a McDonald's logo?
You know, it looks like Walmart.
yeah,
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, the blue is the Walmart color. But
Maybe it's a Walmart McDonald's
no. The heel
Nike
is nice.
Roche Run color.
No, the heel is nice. I'm gonna stand. I like the chips on the back. It looks like M&Ms. That's what the blue is.
Does it?
Is that not chips and like an M&M or something?
Nah.
Really
so is
just-
this a McFlurry sneaker? Like is that what?
I think it must be right.
It has to be.
But could you, in good conscience, walk around with the McDonald's logo on your shoe? I don't think I can.
No, but that's the thing, right? Like when do you guys remember the Travis Scott and McDonald's collab?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
of
was
course.
hype.
That was
Yeah.
That was hype,
yeah.
right? So, but this
It's
ain't
not.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't it.
I don't know, it's just a bit sad.
I think I'd buy my kids this shoe. To
What?
be honest.
You don't love your kids.
That's a weird thing to buy for your kids, bro. And the laces aren't even the same color as the yellow M. It's a slightly different shade of yellow,
Yeah,
and that's throwing me off as well.
that's pretty jarring.
All right, next one, Ro.
Next up, we've got the Kia again clubbing with an undisclosed shoe. Basically, this is just a red and
Can
black
I just say
shoe.
drop? Like let's.
Yeah, this is
is
terrible
yuck.
trash one.
This is
Yeah, this is
yucky.
terrible.
All right, we move on to Volvo. I mean,
That's also.
Oh, that's also dropped. That's,
Volvo.
This is just the
can,
Honda
can
one
I just
all over
say,
again.
Volvo drivers are the worst.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry if you're a Volvo driver, but every time you're on the road, the Volvo driver, they were always doing something ridiculous on the road. I'm sorry I'm being prejudiced, but Volvo drivers, man,
Do I
pick up
know
your game.
anyone
They
like
gotta
I
go.
was gonna say, I haven't had any issues with Volvo
Because we
drivers.
get those people out of our lives then. Volvo,
exactly.
fuck off.
More the Tesla people these days that really piss me off on the road. Next one.
Yeah, so look, Volvo, it's not even worth talking about. It's a blue shoe with the Volvo logo on the side. The last one is not it's an airline, KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, and they call it the Amsterdam sneaker. So the shoe is it's like a brown suede shoe with KLM Royal Dutch Airlines written on the side. There's the blue of the logo on the heel, and then essentially just a black kind of outer section.
What about this shoe screams Amsterdam?
Or airline.
Well, airline. Great question.
In the mock-up, they've put the shoe in the air, so...
It's airline. I think the only
Is the color like Dutch colors? I think it is, right? Netherlands like...
Netherlands is more orange, not
Yeah,
brown.
it's
Brown?
orange.
Are you gonna make an orange shoe?
You can have
Like
orange
a bright
highlights.
orange? Are you gonna make that the shoe?
Like what are the colors of the Royal Dutch Airlines?
That's the blue.
KLM's blue.
Oh.
KLM's blue. So the only color you have is in blue is the heel.
Dude.
And the blue and the brown does not really work together, in my opinion.
Nah.
If
You know how,
I'm thinking Amsterdam, I'm thinking like Stroot waffles, weed.
That's what I'm saying. You know
Like
how
a
Justin was
peep
saying
show.
shoes have a smell?
Yeah,
Does this have
yeah.
a... Does this have a smell?
I mean, this is a drop for me.
Yeah, this
is
is a
drop.
massive
I'm
drop.
sorry.
Can I ask a question then?
Yeah.
Do you see shoes as an investment? Like people who buy shoes for like...
Yeah, definitely. Like if you bought the Ben and Jerry's, you're up like 4 or 5x, right? Like I think it depends on the sneaker. Like I think it's like watches, it's like collectible cars. Like if there's value towards the item, yeah, you can. It's an alternate asset, right? Like like what is the value? Like I'm going a bit meta here, but what's the value of gold? Like
It's the value everyone else puts on it.
exactly.
That's...
Right.
So I got gifted like some gold. I think this is an ethnic thing. But when I was a baby, and so I was having a look at kind of the stuff that I had, and I was just like, oh, okay, interesting to see. And I looked at the price of what it was when so I'm 27, so 27 years ago, and what it is now. And it's just like increased so much in value. Like I could not afford giving gold to like my brother's kids or like your kids or something like that.
Dude, gold is a great investment.
Yeah.
In times of economic uncertainty, price of gold always goes up. Look at it in the last 3 years.
But I've been
Straight
on
up.
the watch trend these days, looking into watches as investments. Because when we went to Japan, we bought some watches.
Yeah, what'd you get?
So
I love watches, yeah.
Sen's got you got it
Is that on your
right now?
wrist?
I got a
Seamaster?
Seamaster.
I love it.
I bought my dad a watch, and
Wow.
then I was like, and then I got into this like whole watch world of like looking into the appreciation value and what models and stuff go up and what they don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mate, watches do it, cars do it, maybe sneakers will do it.
And that's the thing, right? Like value is just so subjective. So you just people like it, then it's
They're going to
go
pay
up.
for it, 100%. All right, well, that is cop or not with a little existential twist at the end. So have a think about that. Let us know if there's any other things that you want to.
Have a think about your life and just the value you have.
What do you value?
We'll see you next week.
Righty, that brings us to the end of what was, I got to say, a very, very entertaining and enjoyable
I hope
episode.
so. I hope you guys got.
Very,
Up to
very.
man.
I know we had fun. I think the listeners would have fun. How did you find it? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good.
So maybe shout out. You can. This is your chance to plug whatever you want. Any
All right,
socials,
guys,
any business, anything you want.
Follow us on Pushas Official on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Buy some sneakers at pushas.com, please.
Times are tough.
Exactly. The economy is not roaring. No, honestly, if you want hype stuff, we're the place to go. You know what it is? This is the other thing about Australians, and I'm sure you guys knew when you went to Japan. Like, we're not dripped out. Australians need to be more dripped out. Like, you guys need to get your sneaker game up.
I agree.
We as a country need to really show out.
The fashion is not there.
Yeah.
And the fashion can be there.
Exactly.
And start with shoes. Have a look at
we need to
Pushas.
show out. Like, if you're going to a corporate event, right, you have nice sneakers. Your boss is not going to promote you if you don't have nice sneakers. It's going to be like,
100%.
this guy doesn't respect himself or this girl doesn't respect herself. Right?
Exactly.
If you don't have nice sneakers, you got to treat yourself, look the part, dress for the job you want, and that's your boss's job. So, yeah.
You love seeing.
I'm joking, guys.
No, but actually check out Pushas.
Yeah.
Like, they're a great company. Support
Genuinely.
Australian business. Genuinely,
Yeah.
we love promoting Australians. So give them a look. Pushas.com. And check out our stuff as well, please. Instagram, TikTok. You know where to find us. And we'll see you next week.